YouTube on here. Hey, Brianna. Let's get them on here. Welcome in, YouTube. So we have YouTube in the building. So I need to set them up because they need to actually be able to see. And this is why I got too much light on me, because I actually like the light to be down. And I'm going to put you guys down so you can see the actual workstation, not so much seeing me. So I want to first start off telling you all about measuring nails. So when you measure nails, you actually do it in millimeters and not inches. And I'm trying to be sure this is a millimeter and an inch measuring tape. And if it's only inches, then we can't do it. I think this side should be millimeters, but it's not saying it. I have another one that specifically says millimeters on it. This is just a centimeter and an inch. So we won't go through the actual measuring today, but what I will tell you all, hold on, let me pull up my notes. And if you have a notepad when you're coming into the live, I'm going to start giving you information that you can actually use when you are measuring nails. So let me try to pull this up so you guys can see it. Okay, so you have extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large in your sizing when you are measuring nails, when you decide that you want to actually start doing this as a skill set and offering it as a service. So when you measure, you're always going to measure the widest part of each nail. So if I was measuring this nail right here, I wouldn't do my measurement down toward the cuticle area, because that area is not, this area right here is not the widest part of my nail. The widest part of my nail is actually up in here. And this is the area that I want to use for measuring. So you want to measure using the widest part of each nails, and you want to measure in millimeters. And that will help you determine what size nail you want to use. Now, a lot of people do not know this, which I explained on our last live. And again, these lives are meant to be more educational. We get into the fun stuff, but when I'm doing it, I like to talk through and help you understand what I'm doing it so you can try to duplicate it to the best of your ability versus you just watching me doing nail art. Excuse me. So when you're looking at nail tips, on the inside of these tips, there's a number. I'm going to try to get real close so you guys can see. There's a number in here, and I want to be sure that you guys on YouTube can see as well. Inside of there is a number. That number determines what size nail you're using. So a thumb usually is going to be the larger number. The larger numbers, which this Tipp-Ex light actually starts with a 00. Most sets will start at 0 and they'll go up either to 9, 10, 13, 14. So it depends on the manufacturer to how small they go. But the larger the number, the smaller the nail. The smaller the number, the larger the nail. Okay. So the smaller the number, the smaller the nail, the larger the number, the larger the nail. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. The smaller the number, the larger the nail, the larger the number, the smallest the nail. So this 00 is a really wide. So this would be for someone that has an extra large hand, and their thumb would probably be the 00. For me, when I'm measuring my thumb actually comes in at a number 1, as you can see, because you want it to fit from side to side. And then sometimes I can get away using a number 2, but if someone gets up close, they're going to see my nail wall on the side. So when you're measuring it, you want to know the number. So then when you have your regular customers and you know their size, you'll automatically know what their numbers are. So when you do a set for someone, you want to be sure that you're writing down what their sizes are. So each time they reach out to have a set created, you already have their numbers. You don't have to take them through the measurement steps all over again. If it's someone that's coming to you, then you can write that information down, and you always want to create a client card. A client card is something where you would have your client's name, you would have their address, you would have their phone number. You will want to get their month and day of birth, not necessarily the year, simply because if it's your client's birthday, you want to acknowledge their birthday. Maybe give them a discount, maybe give them a free set or a small gift. That's up to you entirely, but that's how you would size these. And then once you start working with nails on a regular basis, you actually end up creating this skill where you basically can look at a person's hand and eyeball what number they are. But again, that's something that takes time for you to actually be able to eyeball and say this is the number, because you'll be able to look and say, oh yeah, this is this size right here. Back when I was actually, I've been retired for 7 years now. But when I was licensed and doing nails, we didn't have nails like this. Like this was your lead press on nails that nobody wanted, because you would wear them and within 5 to 10 minutes they were falling off. So nails that we got, it actually was cut off. This part right here was cut off. All we had was a tip. And then you would have to measure the tip to the person's finger. And then you will go in and need to file the tip down to make it even with the nail. And then from there, you will start building on. But now that we have these Tipp-Ex lights, you can go in and create sets of nails for people without them being there. You will know their size, or you will know these are the sizes I offer for extra small. This is the sizes for medium. This is the sizes for large. So I wanted to talk through some of that with you all here today. So that's information on sizing. And then just to give you some more information. And again, I said the standard sizes are extra small. That's somebody with a real small petite hand. It might even be a kid, or it can be a very thin grown adult person, but they have a very small hand. Small size, medium size, large, and extra large. And then I actually had wrote down, I'm trying to get to my notes because I actually wrote down the size range, meaning number range, that you would use for these based on your sets. Let me see if I can get to that piece of information to share with you all before we go ahead and get into our next portion. I have a lot of notes, and I literally just came in from happy hour. I came back in. Here it is. I came back in from happy hour because I was like, oh, I need to go live. I can't, be out hanging out tonight. So a size extra small, they will usually be a size 3, 6, 5, 7, and 9. And that's actually measuring from the thumb to the pinky. Small would be a 2, 5, 4, 6, and 9. And notice almost everybody is going to have that smaller number between 6 and 9 for their pinky. For medium, it will be 1, 5, 4, 6, and 8. For large, 0, 4, 3, 5, 7, and extra large, 0, 3, 2, 4, and 6. So if you're looking to just start making nails, the Gel-X or Tipp-Ex nails, and you're trying to figure out how do you determine the sizes because you don't have a person in front of you and they might just order the nails and you want to create the set. If they have a small hand, a petite size hand, that's considered to be extra small. So the sizes you would use for that set would be 3, starting with the thumb, size 3. And again, inside of the nails is the number. So you would have size 3, 6, 5, 7, and 9. And that's for the right and left hand. For a size small nail, it would be 2, 5, 4, 6, and 9. For a size medium hand, which my hand is considered to be a medium sized hand, it will be 1, 5, 4, 6, and 8. For a large size hand, it will be 0, 4, 3, 5, 7. And for an extra large hand, 0, 3, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so I just wanted to share that information. So we have shared so far, I shared with you all how to determine hand size, petite, going all the way up to extra large. That would be your extra small, small, medium. My hand is considered to be medium, large, and extra large. And then there's a number inside of the nails. That number determines the set. So if you don't have someone in front of you where you can do a customized fitting for them of their nail, you would just have your general size sets, and those sets would consist of these numbers. Now, if you had someone that says, okay, well, my hand's medium, but my thumb is usually a little bit larger, you would know you might have to go up a size on them, but you'll need to do something to let them know, hey, these are no refunds. You know, this is the size that you're ordering, because it's not a customized set. That way you don't have a lot of returns. So that's that. But you can also, if you want to do customized sets, you would get a measuring tape that actually measures in millimeters, and you would measure the widest part of the nail to determine what size you would use. And then in our next one, I actually have the information for, because I'm not going to go through and search it, but I actually had wrote down based on the millimeter, generally what size nail that would actually be. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for someone. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our setup. And this is from our sponsor today. Uh-oh, I lost the nail. I think that came from me here. Our sponsor today, which is Make Art. They sent us this nail art display stand. So on YouTube, I actually provided for you all the link that you can click that link and purchase it directly from my TikTok shop over here on TikTok. I'm actually going to go ahead and pin this for you so you can see it. Now, what I like about this cute set, and we showed it, I think, in Tuesday's live, but we haven't put it together yet. So today's live, we're going to actually put it together, but I did pull it out, and we have everything stuck on here. It's magnetic. So now, instead of us only doing one hand during our lives, thanks to Make Art that sent us this in a PR package, we can start doing a full set on our lives. And this actually comes with the two-sided tape. The one that came with the Beatles kit came with the gummy tape. So with the two-sided tape, all I have to do is measure and cut. So let me get my scissors. Where did the scissors go? Give me a moment. 1 moment, please. I thought I had them in here, which they probably are, and I just can't see them. Okay, they are not in here. So let me figure out why I stuck my scissors, because I need those to actually cut this. This right here, in case you guys are not familiar with this is a cuticle pusher. You want to be sure when you are going in, I would say if you have someone in front of you, give them a fresh manicure. But you definitely want to use this to push the cuticle back. And you want to push the cuticle back like this before you're doing your application. So this is a cuticle pusher, and this end right here is a cuticle cleaner. This actually comes in the Beatles kit. So I wanted to connect you all to that. Let me grab my scissors really quick from over here. I should have a pair. I can't believe my scissors are missing. Where did they go? Maybe they're on one of my other parts. Let me look. I have a lot of parts. Okay. Let's see if these scissors right here will work. Okay, so we're going to see if these will work right here. Now with the two-sided tape, one side is sticky. The other side has like a protective tape on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and, okay, these will work. I'm going to go ahead and cut. And be sure that this tape is on this nail display stand. So I'm just going to go across, and hopefully this is enough for all 10. And I'm just going to keep cutting this, just a small little piece of the two-sided tape. And now we're going to move over to the other one. Again, this is Make Arts Nail Art Display Stand. This is what we're using. And it's a really great price. If you guys want to go ahead and purchase it. And then let's see if I can see the shipping on this. It comes with free shipping as well. Okay, so you get free shipping on this for less than $10 is what you're paying. Plus, you're going to pay your taxes. But shipping on this is free. And you get a total of 10. So you can do a full set at one time. A lot of these, sometimes it only comes with one set of 5. This comes with 10. In the Beatles set, it only comes with 5. It does not come with 10. So the Make Art set actually comes with a total of 10. Another thing I like about this Make Art set, they're all the same size. So I don't necessarily need to figure out which one is larger or smaller in order to place the pinky nail versus the thumbnail. Now, once I have this on here, because it's two-sided tape, I'm going to use my actual tweezers to pull that piece of protective tape off that's on top. So once I pull that off, I now just have my sticky tape to put my nail on. One thing that I did forget to do at the beginning of this live was to set up my little trash bag that I usually have on the side of my station. So I don't have that. So I'm just going to put my trash right here. And I'm going to go and keep pulling these off. Um, why kids be so loud on their games? I think it's because they be having them headphones on, and the headphones be so loud they don't understand how loud they are. So if y'all end up hearing my son through the live, I apologize, but he's in his room playing the game, and my live is fairly close to his room. But I really think he has his headphones too loud. That's why he don't be understanding. Boy, you loud. Okay, and I'm gonna just keep pulling the other side of tape off. Again, this is two-sided tape that this comes with. Okay. Um, Here it is. Hold on, let me tell him to turn these damn headphones down because he's starting to get on my nerves. Turn your headphone down. I can hear the whole conversation. Okay. So we're going to keep pulling these off. We're almost 30 minutes into the live. Well, we're at like 21 minutes. So I figure at about 30 minutes, that's when we'll be getting into the practice of doing our French. You guys feel free to pull out your items, start setting up, and you can practice right along with me. Anytime I'm doing a live, I'm always going to be doing it to walk you through what I'm doing it so you can practice um, as well. On YouTube, the lives will replace. You can watch them anytime. On TikTok, once the live ends, baby, that's it. You don't get to see it no more. Hey, Evie, how you doing? Thank you for liking the live. Has it warmed up in Colorado, or you guys still cold? I'm good. I have not seen any videos with your boobs. Did you like them? Did they fit right? It's summer weather. Okay. I said I have because I really don't want to get on a plane, but I need to look to see how far the flight is because it's a few areas I want to visit on the West Coast. And I'm like, you know what, it'd be good to do little road trips. And I always had a good time in Colorado. Colorado ain't never did me wrong. Okay, not one time. I'm always like, yeah, I can come back here. And I like the fact that I was able to hang out in Colorado, and I didn't even need a rental car, honey. Okay, y'all might have to redo this tape. Cause this one, like I don't want stick, child. We're gonna see. Oh, you haven't tried them yet? They were super cute. My thighs are so thick. It's like I can't even fit boots anymore. Cause not my thighs, my calf. I said, girl, you done gained some weight, honey. Okay, to do the practice, I'm just going to use general size nails. I'm not necessarily doing this set for for me or anyone. So we're just using some practice nail tips. I will say when you're practicing, you want to find some cost effective nail tips to practice with. And then once you feel like you have it and you're ready to make a set for yourself, that's when you want to go in and use your Tipex lights or a really good nail tip to do your full set and secure it. So we are going to set this up and we're just doing random sizes on all of these because we're going to practice doing some tips. And I guess we should do a little small one too because we definitely want to practice doing small. Oh, come on here. So let's see if I can get this one to stay. Yeah, let me get another piece of tape for this one. And then let's get a tip over here. Okay, look. I know it's gonna be so nice up there. It's always nice because it's never too hot versus too cold. To me, it was always just like perfect weather. I think a few years ago, I went in August for my birthday, and it was perfect weather. Perfect weather. I had the best time. Fell trying to drive to the post office and mail my stuff back, and fell on the bike. Was trying to record me riding the bike and didn't see the pothole. And I was like, okay, y'all got to stop recording. I'm coming up on a red light. And right when I went to start recording, that's when I seen the damn pothole flip me off the bike. And when I say everything flew all across the streets, I was like, oh Lord. I was limping. I was bleeding. I said, look, we still got to go to the post office. So I limped to the post office. The chain was off the bike. And that was the morning that I actually had to leave for my flight. So it wasn't like, oh, I'll go later in the day or tomorrow. It was horrible, but it was so fun. I had a really, really, really good time. Okay, so we have these set. And you can see these are holding pretty well too. With the Make Art nail display kit. And then, oh, where did I put it at? Hold on, I was trying to find. I hate when I put stuff up and then I can't find it anymore. There it is. There it is. Okay. So I decided to do this in practice, which I realized I don't have my paper towel. You always want to get you a paper towel out. So I have my paper towel here. Thank you, Evie, for tapping me up. I appreciate you. These other little hookers be in here and they just be looking and looking and looking and they don't tap the screen or nothing. I be like, I don't even know what's wrong with these people. Now, when you're working with nails, you have the option of etching this. Thank you. You have the option of etching these to make them really smooth. Some people don't do it. Generally, if you are putting acrylic on top, you have to do that. But when you're just painting these nails, it's not necessary, in my opinion, because it's already a smooth surface. And you start off doing the base coat, and your gel polish is adhering to the base coat of the nail. Now, if you want to go ahead and do that step, you can go ahead and buff it out with your buffer to get rid of the shine that's on the nail. I've done it both ways, and both ways I have not had an issue with the gel polish not sticking or chipping. But if I was doing acrylic on top of these nails, you definitely have to go and get rid of the shine because the acrylic will not adhere. So with that being said, we're going to use, let me find this brush. We're going to use this brush here, which is a long brush, and which is called a striping brush. I'm also going to pull out this brush, and then we're going to pull out a couple dotting brushes because we're going to play around. So I'm going to use this polish today for us to practice versus me using my gel polish, because gel polish is, honey, it ain't cheap. Okay, gel polish is not cheap at all whatsoever. So to practice this nail art, I'm not using my good nail tips because, again, I am practicing, nor am I using my good polish, again, because I am practicing. And then I actually have some acetone that I'm going to be using for any corrections. Foil, I should have my pieces of foil over here, which I do. So I always use a piece of foil. I don't have those little cutesy things. At some point, I'll probably upgrade and get that. But for right now, this is going to work just fine. Just using a piece of foil that I have cut down. When you are learning, you don't necessarily have to have all the things. As a cosmetologist, like I remember when I was in hair school, and I kept feeling like I needed this, I needed that. My very first year of doing hair, when I went to the tax people to do my taxes, they tallied up everything and how much I made. And I said, oh, that's a lot of money. Well, where the money went? After they did that, they tallied up all my expenses. I was buying every product thinking I needed everything, and I did not. So now that I'm retired, been retired for 7 years, but I worked in the industry over 25 years. I know now it's better when you're learning to learn the skill set first and then start buying the things that you feel you need after you've gotten the skill set. Because a lot of times you buy stuff and then you find out I didn't even really need that. One of the biggest things that I kept buying was all of these different hair products because I was thinking, oh, I need this product to do figure waves, and I need this product to do scrunches, and I need this to do that. And I really didn't. I needed to have the skill set to actually do it, because once you have the skill set, when you select the product will do what you need it to do, and you know what you need the product to have, versus a company saying, well, you need this product because this is the only product that's going to work. There's 1,001 gel polishes that's on the market. Some last longer than others. Some chip, some don't chip. Some cure good, some don't cure good. Some you have to wipe with alcohol, some you don't. That's going to be your personal preference. But when you're learning nail art, you want to start with what's cost effective, because you're just practicing. And then from that, you get into what you actually want to use. Generally, when you go to a class, if it's not a class that's been offered by a specific company, that class is going to give you what's cost effective for you to learn and to practice. So because I am practicing currently how to do the French tip, because when I was doing nails, the French tip was not that big of a thing. And then by the time I had to make my decision of doing nails or doing hair, I decided to focus on hair because I could make more money. I could work on more than one client. That's probably 2 years after that. That's when the whole French tip thing became a big thing. And I never did really get the art of doing the French tip. So that's why I'm still practicing, and I'm trying to open this up. Thank you. Welcome in, Har. Welcome in. Use a brr. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Y'all, I can't open this, so we might have to use our good polish. Okay, I cannot open this. I was going to use some OPI, just regular nail polish. And this is what I had. I actually, this is the Alpine Snow. I was going to practice with this, but because, excuse me, because I can't get that open, let me find one of these gel polishes that we can practice with. That one's not going to work. Give me 1 minute, please. Let me find one that's going to show up for you guys to actually see what I'm doing. I was knocking it on the table, Evie, it won't open. And I know if you run hot water on it, that generally works. But try this thing. And I had a green one up there too. I had this white one, and then I had a green polish, but I don't even know where the green one is at. Let me try to run some hot water on this one. If that doesn't work, we'll just switch back over to the gel polish. Let's try to get some hot water to see if that'll help me open this up. right. Let me see if this is gonna work. Try it with this red. Whew. Yeah, it's stuck. But probably because I done had it for a while, because I haven't I haven't used this in a while, but I still have it. This thing is probably some years old, okay? And I felt like, oh while I practice, I can just use this, but I can't even get it to open. So we're gonna switch over to a gel polish. And I just want to be sure I can find one that is bright enough to show. Because a lot of these are kind of light colors, or they're like glitter polishes. So I'm just trying to find trying to see if I can find a good one. Shoot. That's not gonna be a good one. That's not gonna be a good one. Maybe this one is. Let's see. Okay, this blue should work fine. Hey Nola, welcome in. Okay, so we're going to use this one. No, stop coming out. Stop coming out. That's too much. Okay. So I don't have my UV lamp put up, but I don't plan on curing any of these. So the first way that I saw, and I want to see if I can get it to actually work, because this is the one that we're going to try first. Can you guys on TikTok, not TikTok, YouTube, I hope you guys can see me fine. So this is the one I'm going to try first. So what I saw, and I'm going to start with this one. What they did is they said to draw a line. And as you guys can see, this is not a good nail tip. These are chipped nail tips. See how it's chipped already? These are not like real expensive nail tips. They're kind of on the cheap end, but I buy these for practice. So start just doing a line straight across. You want to try to get your line as straight as possible, because you have several different types of French tips. And I probably should have started with that, because you have your classic French tip, which is just like going straight across, and you have the tip. But then you have the tip where it's kind of down in here. And I don't know all the names of them. That's what I need to kind of get into. So I will actually get the names of all of those tips and actually tell you. So let me, because I'll end up clipping this so I can put it on the page. So once you have your straight line going across, the next thing you want to do is write an A, right? So this is kind of like your line for your A. So you want to go down here and come up to the tip, like in the middle. And then you want to repeat that on the other side. So now that you have it like this, what you'll do next is go in and fill the sides in. And once you have your sides filled in, you can then actually take, and I put this blue back in here. I shouldn't have did that. I think it was this one. You can just take the actual polish itself and finish polishing the rest of the nail. Now, once you have that done, you then have to go in and clean up. So now you started on you did the line in the middle, and then you go around the sides and you make your A. Now you need to go in with a brush and clean up. And I'm going to use this brush. Now I'm gonna see if I can get this brush to be a little bit flatter. You don't want to use a whole lot of cleaner. Now, if you're using your gel polish, you would just use alcohol to clean this. You don't need to use acetone. But when you go to clean, what you want to do is start at the bottom where your line is at and hold your brush flat and bring it up and in. And then you want to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to start in the middle and bring it down flat. And then you just keep cleaning up. Until you have it nice and clean like that. So this would be a French. Now, once I did that, I would want this to be a little bit darker. So, of course, you will go in and cure it, and then you will go in and you will just want to be sure that you're following the line that you already have there. Since you cleaned it up. And make that in. So this would be like your second coat. So this would be one type of French. And then if you had to clean it again after you did that second coat because you were doing the gel, then you would just go in and clean that up again wherever you felt you needed to clean it up at. But I think I did okay on that one. So this is, I don't know if you guys can see it good, but that's that one right there. I feel like on YouTube, I think I'm gonna start bringing y'all in on the phone line, so I can put this one right here. Now another French, like I was telling you guys, the classic French. The classic French is really, and you can determine, or your client would determine how thick or thin they wanted their French to be. So some people just want a very small little French. And in those, the key is being sure that that line is really, 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 really straight. So for that, they might want just a real thin line for their French. So in that one, what you would do is once you put it on, you would want to go in and just go through and clean. Not clean all the way off like I just did. Don't do it like that. Please don't do it like that. That's messed it up. I gotta put this back on here. And if you're really good at drawing like really straight lines, then you can probably do this with no issue. But what you would do is go in and clean up the line to be sure it's like a really straight line. I think this one might be the brush. Okay, so this would be if they wanted just a straight line, but they wanted it to be really, really small. Then you also have a French where they want a straight line, but they want it to be a lot bigger. So in that instance, depending on how thick they want it to be, you want to start off just doing a straight line going across. And then for the rest of this, you can actually go in with your polish brush. And you can even, if you decided to start out with the polish brush, you could. But I decided to use the striping brush to do my line to let me know where I'm starting at. So this would be another type of French. And again, you would just go in and clean across to be sure that your line was really clean based on the thickness that your client told you that they wanted their French to be. Oops. Welcome in, y'all, over here on TikTok. How y'all doing today? And this is just me going in and reinforcing that line. And sometimes it might look straight to you and it's going to look crooked to your client. And then they're going to keep asking you to fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. Now, this is also one of the line styles you would do for that nail art where it's the French tip and then you do the rhinestones going straight across. So this is generally that one. And then there's also this French tip, which case you don't use the striping brush. You're going to go in directly. This is called a deep French. You're going to go in directly with your brush. You're going to go slightly deeper on the side than you would in the middle. So kind of think of it like a blocked A. like this. It will start off like this. Check that food in the oven. Now I'm actually gonna switch over to a different brush. No, well you can. And for this one, with your brush, you're gonna go in and clean it, but what you're cleaning it to do is create a smiley face. We're at 50 minutes. We have about 10 more minutes left in the line, in the live. So to do the smiley face, you want to start about right here. Let me bring this in a little bit. You want to start about right in here, and you're just going in to do a smiley face, which is more like a half circle. What you say? They don't need me either. And this one, you just keep cleaning your smiley face up. And this French is one where they want pretty much the whole tip to be covered in the French, but not the base. So the base you will go in and do a different color. Okay, so that's kind of what that French would look like. And then you would just have to keep cleaning it until you have it clean like you want it to be. Welcome in, Sandy. How you doing today? Shit. I keep going up too high into this one. Okay, so that's also a French. And then this last one, which is similar to the first one I did, but the tip is smaller. And the sides go a lot deeper. So this is another type of French. And I'm just going to use the brush to fill in for this one.
When did you put them in the oven?
Before I started my live,
10 hours.
almost an hour. Okay, and to clean this one, I'm actually going to go in with this brush because it's a little more narrower. And this is that type of French. So you notice it's a little thinner here, then it goes deeper down on the side. But this type of French, I've seen where usually they do like some nail art around it, like they do little flowers or something of that nature. But this is the types of French that I'm trying to learn how to perfect. I think I did pretty good attempting it on this particular live. Now, will I be able to be as successful if I was doing a set of nail art? So you have this one. This is a little bit narrower. I just tapped that by mistake. It's a little bit, you can see it comes down in here. It's almost like it's a point, but not really a point in the middle, but it's more narrow. This would be the French when the full tip is colored in. This is more of your classic French, but they want a wider band. This is the classic French, but they want it to be like really narrow. And then this is that wide almond type French. So those are the ones that I'm working to perfect, these exact ones right here. We're coming up to 1 hour on today's live. Again, I want to give a shout out to Make Art for the nail stand. Again, this comes with 10 along with your two-way tape, so you can actually have your nails taped on with the two-way tape, and you can just keep pulling it off when you're done with it. You don't have to worry about fighting to get the nail putty if you do the putty tape, because sometimes I have to fight to get that off. So I do feel like doing the two-way tape will be easier to just remove. But again, I didn't cure these, so I have to try it with curing. I'm going to continue to practice. Thank you for the 5,500 likes on TikTok. I'm going to keep practicing this. Once I feel I have the French together, we'll start practicing doing the flowers with the sculpting gel. I'm still waiting on my delivery, but I do have some that I had actually ordered. So when that comes in, I feel I can get started on that. Now, I did not put a base coat or anything on these. I did not cure these. So, of course, this I will just take off and start all over again. So, again, this is just practicing the different Frenches. This was Step 1. So now I'm just going to wipe all of this off. And we're going to start all over again. But this time I'm actually going to cure it because I want to practice doing nail art, but with a French tip. But I had to practice this first. And we are using a gel polish. So now I can go in and practice. But this time I'm going to cure the nail. So I'm going to go in with my buffer. This is a Beetles buffer that I'm using. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use this. This is a little buffer that I had purchased when I was in Dallas. Uh-oh. And I'm buffing these because I just went on top of it with the acetone. So I want to be sure I remove any stickiness or anything that the acetone would actually do. Because I had removed that polish. So now we're going to go in with a base coat. We're going to practice these again. Then we're going to do some nail art on it. But that's all I have for you today on YouTube. So thank you for joining us. Please be sure to join us again. We go live on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesday, we are off. You will not see us on live. We go live at 8 p.m. And we are practicing nail art tutorials. In the month of May, we will get into doing acrylic nails. So hopefully you all will be around and stick with us. If you want to continue watching the live, please feel free to join me on my TikTok page, which is Tot Style, same as on YouTube. And that's where the live will continue. So see you soon. Bye, YouTube.